afternoon and welcome to our Heritage Makers Leadership Call. It is the first one in 2013 and what an exciting time to be part of Heritage Makers. And I'm so glad to do this call, and I'm even more glad to be able to know that I'm going to see many of you in, 5 days, 6 days? Well, actually some of you are coming into the office tomorrow. But we'll be on TAC in just a few short days, something that you worked so hard for in 2011 and 2012, and finally we get to go and celebrate that time together. So we're excited to have that right around the corner. And okay, I was told you couldn't see my screen. Hopefully you can see my screen now. I pushed the magic button. If somebody can go ahead and type in, because Brindy just ran out of the room for me. Britt, can you see the screen yet? Perfect, thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We've got a lot of fun information on this call. You know, the leadership call is an opportunity for you to not only hear about the recognition, which is what we're going to start off with first, and that's everything that happened in December, but it's an opportunity to hear from each of the different department heads on what's going on in their department and what you can look forward to. And if you ever have any questions, please email leadership or Brindy directly, and we can ask them to talk about specific subjects if those are something you would like to hear them or have them address specifically about. So let's go ahead and get started on the call. And I'm going to turn it over to Susie Berg for our leadership recognition. Susie, are you there?
I'm here, Patty.
Great. I'll turn it over to you.
Great. Thanks so much. It's so exciting to be with you guys today and on this leadership call. And we're going to start off January with our first bit of recognition, which is for birthdays. We love birthdays at Heritage Makers. It means that this is a special time that you can be recognized, and also that birthdays mean something, and that in Heritage Makers we do something about birthdays. All right, so our January birthdays, we've got just three January babies, long time ago or a short time ago. We've got Darby Stapleton on the 1st, Terry MacArthur on the 10th, and Brenda Cruz on the 30th. So happy birthday to you ladies. We just love you so much, and we hope that you have a great day. All right, we're going to go into our December recognition, and we're going to start with our requalifying ranks. We've got Kimberly Stoddard, who requalified as a Gold Director. So that is just fantastic. Congratulations, Kimberly. All right, we've also got Chriselle Levitt, who requalified as Silver Director. I know that she's been working hard and does a lot with her Connect meetings, so congratulations to you for requalifying for that rank. And we've also got Melissa Kroll out of Texas, who also requalified as Silver Director. Congratulations. We're so proud of you. All right, we're going to move on to our top sponsors. And we've got three. Our first starting with Amy Austin in 4th place with 4 new consultant signups in December. We've also... Oh,
Susie,
yes.
Did you know that Amy Austin got those the last 2 days of the month?
Well,
yes. On vacation. That was fun.
I did know
she was like, one more.
Yes, texted me several times saying, can you help me with this? So yes, I was aware of exactly when she got those, but hey, that still counts, you know,
that
as
was
December.
Awesome. I thought she did a great job. And they were her past leads, like her Time Out for Women conferences and other events that she does. So that was great. Okay,
yeah,
sorry,
that was really fun. It was fun to be a part of. So it's always fun for any time that we have new consultant signups. It's just it adds to such a hopeful, you know, time frame. So any time that you need assistance with sponsoring, we're always just so glad to help you with those steps. All right, we've got 2nd place with Christy Warren out of Colorado. She had 3 new consultant signups. And then for our 3rd place, we've got Michelle Falco out of Kaysville with 3 new consultants. So hats off to you ladies for sponsoring in December. You know, a lot of people have a little bit of hang-ups about December, and that's a different month to do business. But this is, you know, some pretty good proof that you can still do those other things that you can do in the other 10 months of the year in December too. So it's not just about publishing, but it's also about growing your business. All right, our new clubs, our top new club signups, we've got all 2nd place, and then we've got a 1st place, but we'll get to our tie for 2nd place. We've got Stephanie Mestis with 8 new clubs, Kim Clausen with 8 new clubs, and also Amy Austin there again with 8 new clubs in December. And our 1st place position goes to Kim Stoddard out of Idaho, so 10 new signups in December. So that's just great. It just really shows that December you can really just work your business and do those consistent activities that grow your business. All right, and then we've also got, here's our, we talked a little bit about this on the company call, and this is for those consultants who earned the 5% performance bonus in December. And I'm not going to read through all of these because we still have quite a few other sections of recognition, but these are our top 5 performance bonus earners in December. All right, and here is a list of our top 10% performance bonus earners. And congratulations to you ladies for working hard and for doing those activities that would earn you this 10%. And Britt chimed in a little bit in our company call and talked about when you earn the 10%, in addition to the 20%, that it's really like giving yourself a 33% raise every month. And so it's really, you know, those activities really add to your paycheck. So we just want to say good job, great job for hard work. All right. And then we've got first time sponsoring, director team with consultant sponsoring. We've got Linda McCormick. And Linda, this is really a neat milestone for Linda. She's only been a Heritage Makers consultant for a year. She started with us a year ago in November, and she's really just worked hard and has had a lot of success. So great job, Linda. All right, we're going to move on to our director teams with consultant sponsoring. And we've got a lengthy list here, so we'll just let you look over that for a minute. So great job with these ladies in building your teams. All right, we're going to go to new active ranks. So this is a list of director teams with new active consultants. And what is great about this list is watching it grow each month. And that means that you are working with your teams as they learn and grow in the business and become active and have, you know, some success behind them. So we love to see this list grow each month. All right, and then we have new star ranks, which is even additional growth, and director teams with new stars. And these consultants will earn extra 300 TAC points and incentive points to the sponsor. So we love to see this list as well. So great job. All right, Patty, I believe that's the end of our recognition.
Thank you so much. We love the recognition part, and December is always a fun month because, yeah, it's the second busiest month of the year, and it's an opportunity to get all of the rewards, the emotional rewards, and those paychecks of the heart as we see our clients publish and experience.
Yeah. And what's great to see with our consultants, you know, getting recognition for December is that they balance the production with the growth of their businesses, that they're able to balance both of those tasks into that month, and that's a difficult month to do it for anybody.
Great.
So, yeah.
Good. Thank you so much for sharing
Thanks,
that.
Patty.
All right, we're going to get into our departments, and our first, we're going to turn it over to Don Linhoff, our Director of Marketing, and he's got a few things he wants to share with you. So, Don, are you there?
I sure am. I'd
Great.
like to start with just a couple little things about the Connect message. As you know, we load that to YouTube and put the link in the VO. If any of you are going to be in a location that doesn't have Wi-Fi, or it's not reliable or not fast enough, you can download the files. They are large files because they're video files. But just want to let everyone know that if they contact me or Brindy, we can invite them to a Dropbox folder where they can download those and then just have them on their computer ready to go. So more of a guarantee there.
Hey, Don, just a comment. This one that you did with Britt, it was a great message in January. I really loved it. Something that I just thought of is, can we go ahead and archive those in a place where consultants can go back and get them in the VO or maybe just on our YouTube channel so that we make
they will always be at that link in the YouTube channel. We don't get rid of them. So as long as they have that link.
Is that access only to Connect conference facilitators, or can any consultant access that?
Any consultant can access it if they've
Okay.
got that link. And this time on the end, we put the fun little video trailer for New York. So we've been thinking a lot about different things we can put on YouTube for fun, and that's a little fun thing we did there. But anyway, like I said, if you want access to that Dropbox, to get the file, just let either Brindy and I have access to invite you there. So I've already done it several times today. It's no problem. So, all right. Next, I want to talk about Facebook images. These seem to be pretty popular. And again, where so many people are looking at Facebook, here's one we did that I think is an undeveloped opportunity for men to do books. I just don't think they realize how many brownie points they can score by doing things for their wives. Got to plan early. They do have to plan early. Can't be lame about it, but the payoff is pretty big. So we've done this little Facebook cover image, and we just put in a one that's for women to give to men. So that's in. We're putting these in our HM Photo Library, and the link is there in the leader's Facebook page. But that's where I'm storing all of these things. And so we did a bunch for Christmas, and we did this one for Valentine's. We'll do a more general one, just so you have different options. But as we go through the months, we'll try to anticipate the things coming up, and hopefully, this thing for talking to men. I want anyone to type in if anyone knows what the percentage of Facebook users are that are men. If any of you can tell me what that percentage is of men looking at Facebook, I'd be curious to see if anyone gets close, because hopefully, some of your men friends will be looking at this and say, hey, maybe I could get somebody to help me do this, and this would be great. So put your guesses in there. Also, if you want to guess at Pinterest, it's a lot different. So those are kind of interesting statistics. But anyway, as I see those come in, I'll let you know if anyone's close. Okay, next, I want to talk about something we're doing really quickly, and I'm going to talk about this more on TAC, but social media is getting bigger and bigger and more important. And thank goodness management has allowed us to contract with some experts. We're working now, Britt, Cynthia, and I are working with a company called White Label that are experts at strategizing to attract people to Facebook pages and engage them with the company. And we are just learning a lot and having a great time collaborating with them. On the next slide, we talk about some of the things that we've been doing with them. They've been doing research. They did an online marketing assessment of our site and what we're doing on Facebook. They researched some keywords. If you know anything about search engine optimization, SEO, it's important to integrate keywords that are meaningful to your audience into your website, into your postings on the blog. And so they've been investigating that. I'll show you quickly some of the things they came up with. But also just on down the line of things that we need to make sure that people are engaged with us. Also, number 5 there, they've been coming up with a list of influencers, bloggers, other people that will be able to hopefully mention us and get us on people's radar, and then tracking ways to track our performance and identifying ways. You'll notice on the client blog, which has been fairly go back there for just a second, Patty. On the client blog, it's been fairly dormant, but lately, with their help, we've been posting more. Linda did the thing with the magic moments at Christmas. We'll be posting more things, photos and stories on that, and every week we're going to try to at least have something interesting on there. So, okay, next slide. Here's something you might be interested in. These are different terms that White Label has been helping us with. These are terms, search terms, and those numbers to the side of them are daily search numbers. So there's a whole long list of them, and we've got them kind of prioritized. We'll be working these key phrases into our blogs and into our website so that they show up more readily on when people do searches. And you have to make sure you don't choose a phrase that is so co-opted by other companies. What you're trying to do is get on the first couple of pages of a search page. And for example, photo books, the term photo books, if you go to the next slide, that has so many more searches, 3 million searches as opposed to these others. So in terms of the strategy, we go with these lesser ones because there's a much higher chance that we can show up in the first page or maybe the second page of the search results. So a lot more to do there, but it's kind of exciting. And again, thanks to the company for letting us invest in this technology and get up to speed and make the most of our opportunities. And as always, as we go on to the content, interesting content. Here's something I snapped up from one of the Facebook groups. Just a fun way to show one of the key advantages of digital scrapbooking, and to me this kind of says it. And I noticed that many of you reposted it, and we're going to be trying to get more and more content that's interesting. It's not just the quantity of content; it's the quality, and so these kinds of things are going to be interesting. Okay, looking at the my little quiz on percentages of men on Facebook, Jen Zucker is very, very close. She put 45%, and it's 40%. So there's a lot of men looking at your site. Hopefully they'll be attracted by that little Facebook cover. So anyway, by the way, just for your information, Pinterest is 20% men, and I'm doing my best to improve that by posting hunting and fishing photos, but
yeah,
it's an uphill battle.
I think you influenced that number, that 20%. You were one of the first ones on there.
Yes. I'm doing my best, but it seems to be a conspiracy to get women to cook more and that sort of thing. So, okay, just kidding. Anyway, we're really excited about this area of social media, and I think with us, with the stories that we can tell and the impact we have in people's lives, the ability to engage audiences is great. So I'm all excited about it, Patty. There you go.
Yeah, that is great. Hey, and didn't you guys love that video that Dawn did about New York? I think I showed that to probably 100 people. Here, you got to watch this. You got to watch this. It was great. So I hope that you have that on your phones and you're showing that around. If you haven't seen it, you need to search it out. Make sure that you get that. It's just a great message. We love that. So thank you, Dawn, for doing that. All right, our next one presenter is Ryan Harper. He is the Director of IT, and boy, he has been busy this last fourth quarter. So, Ryan, are you there?
Yes, we have. We've been very busy. But I think that Britt's going to touch on a couple of things that we're going to be specifically around the photo discs and where those are. So I'll let him talk about that. But there's one thing that I wanted to bring you up to speed on, since we've seen a couple of questions come across lately. At Reunion, we talked a little bit about something that we were working on for the first part of 2013. And some of you, of course, have been kind of curious on where we are on that one, and that has to do with lifting the limitation on photo uploads. So just wanted to kind of bring you up to speed here that this is still a very high priority for us here at in the office, and we've run into a couple of things that have slowed us down a little bit there. One is that implementing our new photo storage policy is really a key to allowing people to upload these larger images. So we're still ironing that out here, and that's coming along quite well. The other one is that working with our publisher, with Zenprint, they've been slightly busy the last couple of months as well. So they haven't been able to dedicate the amount of time that they had hoped to in order to get it ready for everybody. So in short, it's still a high priority, and we are still pushing for a first quarter release. So that's kind of where things are, and we'll certainly be keeping you updated on these calls. Patty, that's all I've got. I'm not sure who's next.
All right, great. Thanks, Ryan. I know Ryan and Lisa and also Don and Susan are looking forward to seeing all of you on the TAC trip. They will be joining us this year, Britt and I, and our spouses, and look forward to having them there again and giving you an opportunity to speak with them one-on-one about some of the hopes and dreams you want to see in their department. So thanks, Ryan. Okay, next we have Susie Berg, Customer Service Manager and Leadership Services.
All right, thank you, Patty. Today I thought I would just take a couple minutes and talk about photo identifying properties. We often here in CS get questions like, why did my photo print the way that it did? Something must be not quite right, or what's wrong there. And so one thing that we need to keep in mind is the identity of the photo. And I didn't know if you knew this, so I thought I would share it with you. And it's really basic information. And so I thought this could be a good tool in your repertoire to work with your customer base, just so that you had more information at your fingertips, and also that you could say, this is why perhaps this is why the photo printed the way that it did. So in the last year or so, what Ryan tells me is that embedded into the information of your photos is a lot of material. And I was not aware of this. And so when I found it, I thought, holy Toledo, this is rocket science. It's not really, but there's really a lot of information that you can find out about a particular photo. And on the screen right here is a photo of my brand new grandson, who was born December 26th, and he is beautiful no matter what picture he's caught in. I just think he's beautiful, so I thought I'd share it. And this photo on the left, is just pulled right from my camera phone. It's a non-edited photo, and I just threw it on here. Got it from my phone and put it on. The one next to it has been just 2 slight modifications. We cropped it because I didn't feel like you need to see the chair legs and the shadows in the background. And then we adjusted the brightness, just 2 simple clicks, and that's what we got. So you can see that the blanket looks a little bit whiter. You can see that his skin is a little bit redder. And let's move to the next slide. And in my previous screen, I said, why would I need the information in the photo? Well, here's why. So first, let's tell you how to find the information, because it's really, really easy. So I took this photo and I emailed it to myself, because I'm not astute enough to have all those photos download to my computer. And so I just grabbed it from my email and I downloaded it out of there. And for this one, I just downloaded it right to my desktop so I could find it easily. So if you were working with a client and you wanted to just look at one photo, you could either have them email it to you, or if you had access to their Heritage Makers account, which is a privacy issue, but if that is a relationship that you have built with that customer, you can take that one image and download it to your computer. So you want to be able to find it very easily, so you could do it to your desktop, or if you had a specific folder where you put those downloads, just someplace that you can find it quickly. And then what you do is you open the image. So step 2, you open the image, and then you left click on the image, and what pops up is what you see is these fields. And if you click on the Details tab, you get a lot of information. So let's move to the next screen if we could, Patty. And in the next screen under Details, we can see that I took that photo on December 27th at 7:40 p.m. So that's awesome. You can identify when it was taken. So for instance, a photo taken in the daylight with full sun is going to look different than this one taken indoors in a hospital room with low light. It also gives you the photo dimensions as well as the pixelations and also the DPI. And then if you scroll down, which is on the second portion of this photo, is what it was taken with. And you can see that right there, embedded into the information of the photo, is my camera phone, my T-Mobile Touch phone, and that's what took it. And so what helps us when working with our clients is if they have printed something that we know that this photo is not ideal for, or if they want to use it for something like a canvas, I would never put this picture on a canvas. It just would not print well. There's not enough content to make a canvas look good. Now, it would help us in our communication with them, because we could say, while you can print on a canvas with this, it's not going to look as good as a picture with different properties and better qualities. So this identifying the properties of a photo can really help in the customer or client having the best possible publishing experience. So it's a really quick, easy way to kind of help guide them with their photos. And I just felt like it was a tool that would be very useful as you work with your clients. And that's all we have today, Patty.
Great. Thank you so much, Susie. You know, it's amazing what they're doing with these phones nowadays. I think my phone actually takes sometimes better pictures than the old camera.
Well, and they have settings.
They're just getting better and better. And,
and my phone has settings. I can take a picture or tell it to take the picture at the maximum, resolution, or I can tell it to take it at 2 gigabytes or whatever. So your phones, while they don't always produce the greatest photos, they do have a lot of settings. And so we just have to learn how to work with them into Heritage Makers. All right.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Linda Angelastro, our studio product manager. Linda, are you there?
I am, Patty. Thank you. Good afternoon. I would just like to remind you about our inspirations classes. They're a wonderful resource for your customers, and I'd really recommend that you encourage them to attend. This Thursday, Cynthia Coulon and I will talk all about Valentine's projects, and we will be presenting loads and loads of brand new templates that I know your customers will really enjoy. The next thing I wanted to mention to you, if we could have the next slide, please, is an upcoming studio enhancement. And I think you'll all be really, really excited about this. I don't know how many of you have opened Studio, opened a project, and went to show a customer the art only to see a lot of these 5 by 7 boys, 5 by 7 Mother's Day, very, very, very old project, old collections come up. So we have a lot of really wonderful, clean, and contemporary art in studio that's of a very high quality, but the way we were showing our art wasn't showing that to the best advantage. So I've been working with development to make those older collections scatter throughout the list. And the way that I'm doing it is I'm moving the 5 by 7 or the A at the beginning of a Victorian collection or the 8 by 8. I'm moving those things to the last part of the name instead of the first part of the name. And so the result is that they're going to scatter throughout the list instead of coming up in one block at the very top of the art. So Studio will look fresher and more contemporary for you when you open it, and our best collections will be able to take center stage, and I think that's very exciting. Now, if that isn't exciting enough, development is also cooperating with me on a development to have a little button to the side of the art or some way to sort the art by date added. So if you want to see the most contemporary and the freshest of our art, you can sort by date added, and all the older collections will go to the back. When will all this magic happen? Well, within the next week or two. So I'm really appreciative of the cooperation that we have with development, and I think this will make showing off Studio a wonderful experience. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you.
Thank you. That is exciting news, and I love that you're always improving that. And I know Studio and Template, the Template Gallery is getting a big overhaul with you this year. So that is awesome. Something to look forward to. Thanks, Linda, for paying attention to that.
Thank you, Patty.
All right. Next, we have Britt Cloward, our Vice President of Sales and Marketing, and he's got a few things to go over with you as well.
Hey, Patty, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. Well, let's go over a couple things on slides here. First of all, let's talk a little bit about HM PhotoSafe and what we're calling HM PhotoSane. I don't have slides on this. We're right in the middle of getting some more information out on PhotoSafe, but we've had questions coming in on how the program works and what's the timing of the program with with our HM PhotoSafe program. First of all, we have our PhotoSafe DVD or PhotoSafe discs that are being printed and worked on. We expect those to be going out shortly after TAC. Hopefully by the end of the month. We mentioned a 7 to 8 week window when you ordered it, and it's coming up to that window, so we're doing everything we can to get them out. And they look fantastic. I think I've mentioned before, they come this quality tin. It's going to be just a great product, great service for people. So watch for that. That'll be coming out very soon if you've ordered one. Our photo storage program will be implemented throughout this month and next month. By the end of the month, we'll start to send out emails to people who are either potential inactives. That means they don't have any points on their account and they haven't made a purchase in over a year. There will be an email encouraging them, finding out if they're wanting to keep their account active and explaining how to do that. And that's basically purchasing through you, whether it's points, club, or making a publish. They can do that. The other email that will be going out is emails for people who are over their storage limits. And we're just finishing up some details on the photo storage limits and kind of how we'll communicate that. We'll give you probably an update on TAC and maybe before if we can get them then done. We won't be communicating any of that until after TAC. So if you're headed on the cruise, don't worry, your people won't be calling about photo storage while you're away. And we're also hoping that the communication that we have will be very, very reasonable, easy for people to understand, and very consumer friendly as we make that transition. As part of the PhotoSafe program, we're developing, and Linda, our studio project manager, is developing some tips that we're calling How to Become HM Photo Sane. So on the PhotoSafe side, you have Heritage Makers has two ways to keep your photos safe: on our servers, backed up online, high quality, state-of-the-art servers online. And then, of course, we have our archival disks, another way to keep them safe. So your HM Photo Safe. But that's very different from being HM Photo Sane. HM Photo Sane is about how do I get on top of this feeling like I'm drowning in my photos. And we're creating a very simple process, very simple 5-tip kind of a thing that we'll start communicating about next month, about how you can become HM Photo Sane. We're hoping that this becomes a very easy training thing, not only for us with your clients, but for you, so that everyone can become organized with their photos. Just a little information on that. I don't know if you're like me, but probably for 10, 15 years, on my computer, on my desktop is where I stored everything. So if you looked at my desktop, you would just see icons and icons and piles of stuff on my desktop. And the problem was whenever I needed to find something, I had to just kind of search and search and search. And in fact, sometimes I'd have a desktop folder inside of a desktop folder. It would just get unmanageable. And I never could figure out how to dig myself out of it until I found a simple framework to keep your files organized on your computer. I implemented that about 3 years ago. And I'll tell you what, it was like a cure to the worst disease possible. It changed that quickly. Suddenly, I just followed the framework and I was organized. And for the last 3 years, I can find anything on my computer. We're wanting to take that kind of a concept and help you learn how to do that with your photos so it's sane, so it's not something you either worry about or have anxiety over being able to deal with. So that's our overall plan. Communication happening at the end of the month. Deletion of photos and the actual full-on implementation of the program is towards the end of February, beginning of March. Watch for more communication in the next just 2 weeks or so. All right, let's go to the next slide. It's time to party HM style. Hopefully you have leveraged this incentive with your teams. It's the entire purpose of this is for you to be able to leverage it with your team. You don't want to go away on TAC and have business stop and then come back enthused and ready to go only to have to remotivate everyone to pick things up. So we encourage you to use this incentive, and I've heard of consultants offering their own incentive. Those who achieve 5 and 1 by the end of the cruise, that they bring back something themselves for their teams. I also read that Patty gave a challenge for all of the TAC attendees to achieve 5 and 1 before they leave. Great, great, great thing. Without doing that, your January is going to be a little bit hard by the time you get back. We're going to be close to the end of the month, and you're going to have to do some major, major work to get them motivated. Much better to use this incentive to get them motivated while you're away. So shout out for that one. Let's move to the next slide. Connect conferences. All the information's up. Let's go forward. They're all on there. Here we've gone ahead and we've written up how many are registered at each Connect conference. Now, of course, the ones that are later on are always going to have less registered. Usually about 2 to 3 weeks before is when we get most of the registrations happening. I was talking to Patty before the call, and we were kind of wondering at where the biggest Connect conference is going to be this year. You know, in our early days, it used to be that Utah always had the largest Connect conferences, but it's not necessarily that way anymore. In fact, across the board, we've seen some Connect conferences where you don't think you'd have that many people, and they actually have more attendees than places where we've been more established longer. So I throw out that challenge to all the areas and all consultants out there in these areas with these Connect conferences. Do what you can to make it the very biggest Connect conference. It'll be interesting to see where the hub, where the real strength of Heritage Makers is. And how many people, whether it's consultants or clients, that we get to these events is a great determiner of it. So we'll show you how many are registered so you can see. I'd love a friendly rivalry there. But most of all, leverage the event. Let's move forward to the next slide.
Hey, Brett.
Uh-huh.
I'm just putting an e-card in VO Plus that has all of the schedule of all the conferences, so people can send it out to their downline, their people, so they'll know where the conferences are.
Perfect. So you'll have some tools to be able to do that.
Yep.
Looks great, Don. What's the agenda for the Connect conference? Friday night we have a 7-to-9 meeting, and then 9 to 11 o'clock in places where we can, we're going to be holding a DigiCrop. The hope is that you invite anyone who's interested in being a consultant, or even if they don't know that they're interested in being a consultant, invite them along to learn about Heritage Makers, to feel some great friendship, have a fun night out, and then later on in that DigiCrop be able to get some projects done. Saturday day, 9 to 4 p.m., we'll be doing all sorts of training, information. We'll have a break for lunch. If you haven't been to one of these before, they're incredible. If you have been, remember at the end of the last one how jazzed people were. They just are really exciting. We need you to register early, and really register now to get early bird pricing. You're going to save $15 from $35 instead of $50 by registering 2 weeks before your event. It would be great if people registered now, even if your event is, a month or 2 months away. It lets us know what else we need to be doing to be able to get people going. Guests are free. A spouse or anyone interested in the HM business opportunity is free to attend. Also, any new consultant who signed up within the last 30 days is free to attend as well. So if you have someone who's planning on becoming a consultant, don't wait for them to go to the event and sign them up there. Sign them up before, get them their materials. When they go to the event, they'll have some great context for the training that they'll receive there from their kit. To register, just enter the code in Virtual Office and visit the site in Virtual Office for all the details. And there's their base core. Just read the details. It's exactly what we've done in previous years. You just put a code together to get it. One last thing about particularly Connect conferences. In our industry, in direct selling, this is where we play strong. If you think about how technology has affected the world in almost every industry, think about how we get news now compared to how we used to get news 100 years ago. Think about how we communicate with people now with how we used to communicate with people 100 years ago. There's almost in every facet of life, there's been major changes to how we interact, how we do things. The only thing that hasn't changed is face-to-face presentation. Sure, we use PowerPoint. Sure, we do a lot of other things like that. But when it comes down to it, it's a presenter, it's people meeting together, it's like-minded people, the feeling of this fire, that these group dynamics that come together, and that never changes. It's one of the last things that we still do together that really has no viable replacement. We do a lot of these webinars, and they're fantastic. Great way to give communication and information, but it is not an event. And direct sales has always used events to create major growth in their businesses. Don Linhoff, when he came on board with this, he was talking about some events his company used to do, and they'd go hit the road just like Connect conferences. They'd have experts come and speak in different areas of health with the business he was with previously, and they'd have droves of people that were brought by their clients to learn about this great thing that's going on. Said that it was a fantastic way that they saw their business really grow. Connect conferences only come once a year at this size. They're just a great way. We used to say, if you can get them there, we'll get them signed up. And that's generally what we've seen across the board. If you can just get people there, the dynamic, the emotion, the experience from other consultants gets them signed up. So please, please, please do whatever you can to get them there. Here's a couple ideas. Number one, to get people there is it's simply they've got to come. You've just got that. There's power in those words. Have you ever had someone tell you that? Said, you have got to see this movie. You got to come. You've just got to come. It is like the best thing ever. It's just incredible. You've just got to come. You should do everything you can to come. The more excited and convinced you are about the meetings itself, that they'll have real value to people, and the more you share that, more likely they are to come. Here's another thing. You've got to come, and I will drive. I'm going. I've got a seat. Come right along. Another idea that we've seen is set a goal. Personal goal. I have a goal to bring 10 new customers or potential consultants to the event. Not people who've already signed up, but 10 new ones. And I've got 10 slots for people to come. Can I count on you to be one of those? You're going to absolutely love it. There's just so much there, and you're going to find out more about how to do Heritage Makers with your family. It's incredible. Of course, we talked about the DigiCrop that's available there. And of course, you could always do something like this. You could say, and if it's not worth your time at the end, you said, this just wasn't for me. I wish it just really wasn't worth my time. I will refund you. Now, here's the trick. It doesn't cost them to come. So you can refund with a clear conscience. Don't worry about that. But the main thing is just be excited and catch the vision of what getting people to events does in our industry. There's not one business in direct selling who hasn't used events effectively who hasn't grown. And this is a great opportunity for us to use an event that we can really grow with. And speaking of events, that moves us to the next slide, which is Leaders Conference, which we want to leverage Leaders Conference in our teams as well. We don't invite new consultants or potential consultants to leadership, potential consultants to leadership. What we do is we invite current consultants to stretch, to become a leader, and to attend Dream Team with us. If you have people that you're working with Key 3, they're the prime or pledge to promote, path to promote. They're the key people that you want to get to leadership and Dream Team. Let's move forward to just summarize what leadership's going to be. It's out in Heber City Mountain Valley Resort, by where we had Reunion and last year, and it's just incredible. April 24th to the 27th. Cost is only $350, and that's for the event and Dream Team itself. You're getting both things together. You're saving a lot of money that way, and it includes all the training, all the materials, all the lodging, all the food, everything. It's just getting yourself there. So great time to talk with your teams and to set that goal of I'm going to be director and attend Dream Team. All right. With that, Patty, I think we'll turn it over to Doug, it looks like, for some training.
That's right. We've invited Doug, since he's going to do the leadership training or the Dream Team training at Leadership Conference, to give you a sneak preview of what it would be like, and we haven't heard from him in so long. So, Doug, are you there?
I'm here.
Great.
It's a treat for me to have the opportunity from my mountain home to speak with you across the country, those of you who share our vision and mission of heritage and heritage making and bringing the mechanism to help strengthen home and family through the power of the story together. It's a wonderful thing, this technology that allows us to connect, at least by voice and some pictures, on a regular basis. It's been a while since we've done a Dream Team experience. We've tried a couple of different versions of that, usually here at my mountain retreat, but also we've tried some larger groups in the settings where we've had the leadership meetings. And as Patty and I and Britt talked about the opportunity we have unique with this new group of leaders, and it's been a while since we've had this kind of opportunity to look at personal development and personal leadership skills, the conclusion was to offer at least a condensed Dream Team type experience, not only for those who are new to Heritage Makers and haven't had that opportunity, but to also offer a refreshing course experience for many of our leaders who have had that opportunity to go through the full Dream Team experience. You know, as I've been working on writing books this last year, I've become acquainted with some interesting facts. You would all probably guess the right answer to the question of what is the single highest number of books for a particular title that's ever been made in history. You'd probably all say the Bible, and that would be correct in so many different languages and so many copies around the world. But do you know what the other great books are that have produced so many copies and have influenced so many people around the world? Some of you might think it could be Think and Grow Rich. Others might be The Principles of Babylon, and other books that are great leadership books. Even Covey's book, 7 Habits, has a great following. But even within our own Heritage Makers family, there is a connection to, if not the second, certainly one of those that's very close to the second most prolific book. Now, after 10 years of publications, this book continues to sell nearly 1 million copies a month. This book, that's 1 million copies a week, not a month. This book is a simple little book that was written by Virginia Dixon's pastor, and it's a book called The Purpose-Driven Life. And while many of these kinds of books flourish among Christian groups around the world, this book, I think, gives us some significant insight into people, leadership, and leadership influence. The concept is that we as human beings are driven to a need to have purpose in our lives. That purpose is exemplified in our contributions to each other, to our families, and ultimately to humanity. That innate desire or need is particularly strong in those people who identify themselves as leaders by associating with a cause that allows them a platform and a mechanism to draw others who similarly are looking for purpose and passion. You know, these terms give you an interesting insight into the power of Dream Team and some of what we go through in that process. Most of us are busy in our lives, raising our family, trying to balance school and work and home cleaning and bills and all of that kind of thing. Often the urgency and the deluge of daily living experiences push down or aside the opportunities we have or take for filling our lives with greater purpose and passion, even though it may be on a staccato, a short-term process or basis. What we try to do with Dream Team is to ask some very simple questions in a timeout for mom kind of experience where there is enough time, enough quiet, enough sincerity and focus for the questions to help sort to get real answers, not superficial answers. One of the questions we ask is, who are you really? Now, the answers come in interesting fashions. Most all of us would identify ourselves first and foremost by our name, because that's what we're called. We open the concept that in reality, what our name is really a file folder, if you will, in which the things that really identify who we are stored by those who have our name on a file in their reference. So when you think about who you really are, what is it that defines that? What are the character traits, the characteristics, the principles and priorities of your life? What are the productions, if you will, of your life? What are the influences? And as we examine each of those to get clarity, it's a perfect opportunity for rearranging, adjusting the load, and particularly for heritage makers, identifying those things to which there's greatest purpose and to which we can develop the greatest passion. This is not a company like other direct selling or network marketing companies. While we share some of the same mechanism in terms of how we introduce products and promote them, yet our product, not just the books or the cards, guess I could call it the product of our product, the result of our product, its effects in the lives of other human beings is so significant, so lasting, so purpose-filled that it creates tremendous passion from those who focus on it. Yet, our business is so similar in some ways in direct selling and the demands and challenges of time and management and communication and all of those kinds of things that sometimes we can be distracted or have the purpose behind our processes pushed aside. It's a refreshing thing to touch base again and to share with one another those salient, significant moments when tears flow and people have reconnected to what is really, really important in their life. That's their heritage. Now, we don't mean heritage in the same way other people may. We don't say heritage in terms of the superficial kinds of things. We talk about heritage as those influences that literally carve our character, set our dispositions, and establish our priorities for living. Particularly parents in this time when there is so much tragedy, so much terrible things happening around the world, and particularly in our own country, kindergarteners in funerals, and so many accidents. There is so much tragedy that many parents are focused on not just how to securitize their children, but how to make sure that in the short times they have them, that they're able to develop those strong character traits that will provide for them both ongoing security as well as put them on what I call the path to purpose. These are high thoughts. These are powerful concepts, and they all start with a heritage maker who comes to know the answer to who they really are, and perhaps more importantly, who from this time forward do they choose to be. Then in the course we look at some options and opportunities to help them to make those determinations and to give them the tools that will help them both to dedicate what portion of their time they can to that commitment and to be successful in doing it, such that they become leaders of a vision and mission and purpose centered in strengthening the heritage of homes and families. It's a noble cause that needs real leadership, and Dream Team experience helps to get that focus and understanding of how that influence can be leveraged to help others become heritage makers in their homes. I am really excited about the opportunity for this refresher and extension course to give thoughts and clarity and passion to what you will do in this new year. I look forward to being with you in April and hope that you will make sure you're there and a part of this great experience. Thanks, Patty. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Doug. I received several messages saying, oh, it's so good to hear his voice again, and just the messages that you always bring to us are so helpful and directing us in our lives and what's good. And I hadn't heard of that book before. I wrote it down. You said it was The Purpose-Driven Living, right?
Life.
Perfect. Okay, I changed that. I need to look that up, and I love that you talk about the path to purpose. It's about what we do is to have purpose in our life and to do something good, not only in our own personal life, in our family life, and to help others. And that's what Heritage Makers is about. And you've done such a great job at helping our consultants to understand that and form the company with that mission behind. So we thank you very much, and we are so excited. The question came through, are we going to have lots of tissues available? So that's always a good thing, right? Make sure we have that there. So thank you for joining us and giving them a sneak peek of why they should be at Leadership Conference and the opportunities ahead of them. All right. Just to get it started, many of you as leaders, I sent out an email kind of focusing on 2013 and what we have, some changes that are happening in the office as far as philosophy and what we're able to do, and really going after what we know to be the right direction for heritage makers for the business. And Doug just talked about one of those things, and that is the change in leadership and the training that's going to happen there. We're actually kicking that off. We have a training here in the office tomorrow on intentional living, and that's a seminar being done. And I know many of you asked if we would be able to Skype that. We have been doing everything that we can to make that happen, and it's just not going to be able to work. We are going to record it, though, so that you'll get the audio after. You just won't get it live. It's a very interactive seminar, so the first part of it is training on living intentionally, and then after it will be very interactive. So I apologize to those that I had said, yeah, we'll work on getting that Skype. We're just not able to get it done. We are also video recording it, but the presenter's a walker. So she's like, I can't promise I'm not going to go out of camera view, but again, she will be mic'd and we'll have a recording for that. So if you're planning on attending that, then we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and we'll get the recording out to others. We're also hoping that once we do this pattern that we've been kind of working on, what she's going to present is something that we would be able to take to other areas as well. So that will be exciting. All right, let's go ahead and just wrap this up with just a few comments from me. We have adopted the theme, and I don't know if you've gotten your booklets yet or not. Maybe you haven't. I've had it on my desk for about a week, and of course we've seen all of the New York stuff. But we've adopted that theme of start spreading the news, and it's just an exciting. Hillary just walked in. Hillary's back visiting with her cute little baby, and she brought in this cute little naked baby. Okay, so start spreading the news. The question is, what news? What do you want me to start spreading? It's a fun theme. It's a great song. I love calling Jen Zucker. If you haven't listened to her new voice recording, sorry, Jen, you got to give her a call and hope that she doesn't answer and that you go to voicemail. I just said, don't answer too soon. I want to listen to the rest of the song. So it's great. What is the news? Well, that's really up to you. There are so many exciting things going right now. It's hard not to share everything. At least that's what I'm finding. And I'm aware of more things that are going on. But just knowing what you know, there's so many things that are exciting in heritage makers. It's hard not to do an information dump on people. We got this, and we got this, and this, and this, and this, and this going on. So the answer is to that question is, what's exciting to you? What's going on in your life or in heritage makers that is exciting to you? As I've been thinking about the future ahead and what we're doing with training and leadership, we've got the new Leadership Path to Promote going on, and these seminars, just really trying to focus on you as consultants and how we can get this hidden secret out. It's been hidden for too long, and we need to get it out. So when I think about what's exciting to me, at Heritage Makers, what we do is very exciting. We change lives. We help people tell, remember, and celebrate the magic moments of their life, whether it's this fun, silly pictures. Now, my girls do this, and I know the Clowards are really good at doing this. You look at some of their family photos, and Britt always has some funny faces in there. What a great 12 by 12 to have out. Just remembering those messages. Sometimes we think that just remembering and telling and celebrating are those deep stories of some tragic thing or some emotionally deep thing, but it's not. It is that, yes, and it's so much more. How do you want to be remembered, or what do you want to remember your children like? That one on the far right, that's my son. He's a Marine. And my daughter made me that 8 by 20 canvas, and it has a very emotional poem written on it, I Give You My Son. And it talks about giving his life and into the service of the country. And so we celebrate that. It's something that hangs in my office, our family photos, our amazing vacations that we take. You know, we've talked about that before of people take these vacations and they remember them for a short time. And especially when our children are young, but when we storybook them, then they remember them much longer. That's what we do. Heritage Makers changes lives with what we do. No, we really change lives when you take into the aspect of not only our product and how it affects every person. We have one of the best and most unique business plans available to women. It's something, again, that I'm very passionate about. Doug talked about a path to purpose. That's what Heritage Makers is. It's a path to having a purposeful life and enabling others to have that. With Heritage Makers, we have Club HM that has reoccurring volume, which is an anomaly in our industry. We have financial rewards for sharing the business opportunity, starting with just the kit. When you sell a business kit, you as the sponsor receive $75 to help train them and get them up and going. You're going to help them make money and take charge of their life and have influence over others, including their family, and you get paid to do that. And the 75 is just an upfront token. The ongoing rewards are even more than that. Personal growth. Being on these leadership calls, being treated as a leader, taught about leadership, going to these intentional seminars, the Connect Conferences Dream Team that will focus on changing and helping you to find out who you are. You know, we need to use the words carefully because when we say we want to change you, that's not actually the intent because that means that there's something bad and we're trying to change it. We're trying to give you the opportunity to grow in a direction that you want to grow. That's up to you. We want to give you enough possibilities that you're so excited to reach out and find out what you want to be and do that. We give you, our opportunity has travel and vacations and prizes. I love this photo of Wendy and Kyle just having fun on our opening event on TAC. It's the miniature golf place. I think this was on the Oasis. And what a great trip. What a great thing that we do. You know, this year we've got TAC in January, and then we'll go to the resort in April. We've got New York in June, and then we've got the Biltmore in August. There's all kinds of travel opportunities and growth opportunities going on. The best part is that we know our plan works. You know, Heritage Makers has made some changes to the compensation plans. We're nothing like what we started with in the beginning because we've refined it and we found what works. And that was so exciting. And it was very rewarding for me to present to the board this last December that our plan works. We've had one of the highest years last year, and we'll share some of these numbers with those leaders that will be on TAC. Last year, with fewer people, we're paying out. Club is working. Our compensation plan is working, and it's exciting. We know that it works. You know, the best part is you can have everything you want, and Heritage Makers can help you achieve it. Anything that you want to do, well, I'll almost say anything. We can't give you to do nothing. Well, I guess you can do nothing, but you just can't, have everything and not do anything. But we can pretty much fulfill everything that you want. The challenge is first, you have to identify what it is. You have to dream it. And that's a lot of what Doug helps us do. He enables us to let go of the stuff that consumes us and to dream big, to dream of tangible things that sometimes we think, oh, I can't do that. Or, I don't have enough time to do that, or that will never happen. Or we have other people telling us those things and squashing our dreams. Doug helps us to reach outside of ourselves and believe that we can. But we have to dream it first. And then we have to make a plan to achieve it. And that's going to be the second part of Leadership Conference if you haven't already done that. That's a part of a leadership principle. Dream it and then make a plan to achieve it. and then work your plan. Once you've identified, this is what I want, I'm going after this. This is how I'm going to get it. And it's a sound plan. They're both congruent with each other. I'm not expecting rewards that I'm not really willing to work for. I'm doing the right activities to really achieve this dream. And then I go out and I work this plan. I make it happen. And then the best part is I share my success with others and I help them achieve their dreams. That's one of the most rewarding parts of this business, is that I can be successful and I can help others have everything that I have. I have a dream. I have a dream to help women live intentionally by finding balance in their life, personal growth, success, financial stability, charity, and compassion. That's my dream. And I believe that you can do everything. We can achieve that when you own your own Heritage Makers business by building it and sharing it with others. You can have everything that you want and that you're willing to work for to have. You know, I've had a dream for a long time of taking you all to New York. What a fun thing. And I'm just like, giddy over that this is going, and it's just been launched, and our marketing team has done a fabulous job at launching this. We are going to have a great time here. But you know what? It's not about the trip. The trip's the reward at the end. That top line is so important. If you can make it there, you'll make it anywhere. It's up to you whether you do or not. And that's because what this is about is building your business on a simple, achievable, completely attainable path. When you achieve this, you are on the path to a successful Heritage Makers business. I just want to go over real quick the qualifications, because this has so much power and influence in your business. The qualifications are pretty simple. For a consultant base, it's 10 new consultants. For leadership, and that's as of September, it's 12. Out of those people you sponsor, you need to have 5 or 6 hit active, which is only 100, and you need to have 2 or 3 hit star level. Look at where your business will be by the end of May when they have that qualification period. Now, the sponsoring goes from December through April. The activation periods, we give you that extra month to activate those people that you sponsored in March and April. Look at where your business will be when you do that. When you go to New York and you celebrate and you go shopping and you have fun and you stay up all night giggling with your fellow consultants, you're going to be on the road to success on a simple, doable, duplicatable business that becomes, you've gained that momentum, the wheels moving in your business. It's exciting. That's what this promotion is about. That's the real value in having this. So I am so excited to have that. Now, it's something, this is important for you as leaders to understand, not only for you, but for your team members, that if you're trying to do this incentive and you want to change the pattern of your business, you've got to start now. Britt talked about the incentive of while we're away, and I gave that challenge out to leaders. Don't wait. Make sure that you're taking charge of your business now in January. You could make up some time, but by the end of February, it's going to be really tough. It's doable. It's completely doable. It's not balanced doable, but it's completely doable. And so start now. But the best part is bring somebody with you in your team, not another leader. Expect your leaders to go, but bring somebody in your team. If they're not there yet, go find them. Find them in January. Find somebody who wants to go to New York with you and set that business pattern for them. To help you as leaders, we have started the Pastor Promote for Leadership program, and we just held the introductory call last Thursday. It's posted in the leadership. This is our first week. There is a link in there, and Wendy taught me how to pin it to the top so it doesn't get down to the bottom. If you haven't done that and you want to participate, go ahead and put your information in there. After this week, because I got that introductory call up so late. I think it was the end of Friday by the time I actually got it up. It has to be turned in by the end of the week. And then we'll be doing leadership path to promote training. It's business basics and leadership skills every single week, and then mentoring with your upline leader. So if you want to make a change in 2013 and you want to follow the direction of the company, this company is moving forward. We have people that need our stories. They need our art. They need our concept. They need our help. And that's the direction we're moving in. So this program was created to help you in your business and to rekindle it. A lot of those basic principles you're already going to know. But it's great to have that refresher. Great to say, I'm going to do this time. I'm going to do things different. I'm going to change the words to that song a little bit. Instead of if you can make it there, it's and when you make it there. You'll make it anywhere because you have decided to take control of fulfilling your dreams. They're your dreams. It's up to you to make them happen, and we're here to help you do that. Thank you for being part of this call. We've gone a little bit over. It's an exciting time. I don't know if we'll be able to keep ourselves down to an hour. We can't wait to see you next week at TAC and celebrate your successes and your hard work. So thank you for being on the call. I know you've got last-minute things to do and packing to do to get ready to go, but you guys are amazing, and we have a simply amazing company. It is the best out there. We have a mission to fulfill, and we're so glad that you're part of it. So thank you for joining the call. We'll get this up and posted for those who weren't able to join us. Have a great day, and we'll see you in about a week. Thank you, everyone.